Hello, hello. I'm kind of cut off because, we're going to be playing in the sandbox nice and low. I have a little stool I will be sitting on. If you're new to me, I'm Linda. My hat is on for the month of October. Yay. And we're working with this sweet dresser. It's going to be a combination of two different dresses that I've recently done. And we already have the striping on. We did in a video a little while back. Because I got a little sidetracked with our IOD video project piece. But we're back. I've added the texture. We're using the same product today, but all I did was I tapped it on to create a rough texture. It's done with sea spray and driftwood. And I painted over it again with our base color, which is the silk mineral paint and salt water. So what we're going to do is we're also going to be kind of pulling some of the Bay Breeze, the blue, over this. And then when that's dry, we'll sand it and we'll have a little bit of the blue, a little bit of the white, and the gray kind of popping through all these little rough areas. That was from the white bureau that I recently did. This part, the striping and the raised stenciling, is from the blue dresser I recently did. So, we got a few things going on, so we're gonna touch on that today. We're also gonna show how I use a stencil just to do a regular kind of a stencil on the sides of the drawers. So if you're watching, please don't be shy and say hello. If you're on YouTube, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I will check periodically for any comments. You can also email me at cporium@gmail. And oops, can't hardly hear me, can you? Because my microphone is over here. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Just noticed that. So, where am I going to put this now, though? Isn't that the question? We're going to have to put my long tank top up high. All right. Feed it through here so the wire doesn't get in the way. There. Hopefully that is better. All right, and that didn't stick. Isn't that how it all goes? All right. So, if you're watching on our website, I appreciate it. Even if it's on replay, it's a kind of a new thing for us. We're streaming live on Facebook, and live on YouTube, and live on our website. I'm going to have to, keep continuous with a schedule for my own private lives at least once a week. I'm kind of liking this idea of Sundays in the sandbox kind of a thing. So maybe we'll do Sundays. But then again, after the holidays, I'll probably close on Sundays. So we'll see. We'll see. Saturdays are tough because I can't commit to Saturdays when it's the busy season. That's why it's just kind of hard when it's a one-woman show to pick a day and a time that works. Except IOD, I'm on their page live every first and third Wednesday of every month at 6:00 p.m. And then I go live on our page afterwards, as long as there's something else to talk about, right? All right, so, and if you're curious about any of these products, please check us out at cporium.com. There's a link in the description to go right to shopping, so it's cporium.com/collections. We do have some of the new Iron Orchid design holiday things in stock. The transfers are all gone. I did keep one for myself. I do have the stamps, and I have 2 of the molds. So if you're interested, please check those out. We have new Dixie Belle products. I'm loving that new decoupage paper, the rice paper. That vintage tattoo that I just did the trunk in is amazeballs. So let's see. We're gonna do a mixture. I'm so tired today, you guys. We did a trip to see our daughter. That poor puppy's doing good. She's doing much better. I'm a little more alert. So it's just strange to see her as a tripod. So what I'm doing is I'm going to shake up my paint really good because it's a silk. And it makes all the difference in the world if everything is really stirred well. Silk is kind of old school where, excuse me, you really want to use your synthetic brush. You don't want to use it wet like you're working with a clay or a chalk style paint. You got to work fast and you have to have proper prep. So we did a good job. Everything with all the tape removal and stuff, we had no issues, so that was good. We just had a couple spots in this little crossbar, which didn't surprise me because it's a crossbar. It was collecting a lot of the stuff from the top, and I just didn't wipe it off very well. So we did a couple little spot fixes on there. Rest looks really good. So on top of shaking the paint, I'm going to stir this. This is also like what you want to do with the primers. Whether it's the Boss or the Slick Stick, you just want to shake it, you want to stir it, you want to get all those little elements of the paint mixture or the primer mixture mixed in really well. All right, so I'm not sure how much I need. Probably more than that. We can always make more because it's just, I'm not mixing a color, I'm just using the salt water, but I'm lazy that way. I don't want to revisit it. So no matter how I try to keep the necks kind of clean, I'm not going to tighten this all the way because after the video, I'm going to go and I'm going to take this to the sink and really kind of clean that lid and try and clean that neck again. I try to keep up on the lids and the necks, but it doesn't always happen. I have rags. Let me get my little stool. All right. I hope you guys are all creating today. It is gorgeous outside. We had summer weather, not sweater weather. We had summer weather for a little while there. But now it's a little bit of a cooler day, but it's sunny and it's a beautiful fall day. And then let's see. All right. And we're going to add some of the sea spray. We now have this in a 6-ounce size, but I'm going to be using the pouch because it does come with the little scoop. And I do it by eye. You can go up to like 50-50. And if you did it 50-50, it would be pretty pasty. I'm not looking for this to be super hard. It's going to be hard as it is. And I'm going to want to keep the stencil clean. It's going to be really important. Okay, that's looking pretty good. It was less than 50-50. And actually, as it sets, it's going to thicken even more, so I might add more paint. But that's how I did this. It's pretty pasty, okay? And I just took like a little trowel, a putty knife, and I put a little bit on my putty knife, right? Well, that isn't a putty knife. You know, took a little bit on my putty knife, and you kind of trowel it down. You could take like a chip brush and add texture into that. Whatever works for you, we're going to do it differently. We're going to pull it through the stencil. Let me add a little more paint. Let's see. We do have the door open, so hopefully everyone minds their P's and Q's outside because I did a live once and someone was shouting all kinds of obscenities as they were walking by. It was not what I was intending for sure. All right. Some kid maybe in the pool, sounds like. Nope, some kids having fun. All right. That should be good. There's no rhyme or reason to this. I'm just looking for it to stay thick when I pulled it through the stencil. You could use Dixie Mud, and it comes in 3 colors, and it's an actual like a little bit of like a plaster kind of a thing, or a wood filler. I've used it as a wood filler. All right. You can use it to add texture in its own way. You trowel it on, and you can get like a you know, the old English ceiling look. What do you call it? Knockdown finish. All right, so that's looking pretty good. It's thicker than buttercream frosting, but it's kind of smooth. I'm going to go with that. And I got my new ring light, you guys. I'm so excited. I hope you like my hat. If you're not used to me, if you're kind of new to me, this is my hat for the month. I got my little skeleton dangle earrings on. I'm all excited. It's all about the fun, you guys. It's all about the fun. Some people call it my Stevie Nicks hat. All right. So here's the stencil we're going to be working with today. It's called the Royal Damask. All right. And then what I'm going to do is, some people would spray it with the repositionable spray adhesive, but I won't be doing that. I'm going to move this down to here. And I can move this over now. I'll be able to see it a little bit better. And see, that'll give us a little bit better of an angle, I think. And we can get rid of this. Okay. So what's going to be interesting is you're going to get a little bit of a thickness when we go to do this to the sides. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right down to the bottom, because it's easier to bend the stencil where it's broken up versus where it's thick, if that makes any sense. Plus, it'll give me less of a gap in the corner. If I didn't want the gap in the corner, I would just move that over. But again, now we're talking about a thickness here and a thickness there. So we'll leave a little gap in the corner there. That'll work. All right. And then, of course, it would help if it was somewhat straight. Where did I do? Okay, so we have tape. And I am just going to do my best to hold this down with tape. And we're going to hold it down in their sections. We're not going to do the whole panel in this. We're going to break it up. So we're going to make a little plan. And I didn't do anything at all to this, because I purposely, and honestly, I purposely did this, okay, because I want this to be, you can see what I'm thinking of at the moment. And let's see, we'll tape this here maybe, because I'm not going to go all the way over. So that's not going to work. You know what we could do is we could kind of tuck it underneath here. There. That'll hold. So I'm going to do it like a little bit here. Maybe come up a little bit, sweep up like this, and then maybe, I don't know. The last time I think we did up in the front, kind of came up the center a little bit and up the side to, like, lessen the back. You know what I'm thinking? We're going to make life a little easier. I'm seeing this differently. The other panel was different because it was a different size piece. And since this is so close to a repeat here, I'm just going to do this up the center. All right, so we're going to come up to here, and we're going to kind of just swoop this down. If I want, I can maybe add a little bit in the corners. And I think that looks pretty even. A little straighter maybe. That looks good. And then our putty knives. Would have been nice if I brought them, over. Got to remember this height of my hat. Sorry about that. Okay. And I had to tuck that bracket way up to the ceiling walking around here this week. So, all right. So we've got a good idea what we're going to do now. And we're just going to start collecting some of this. And we're going to start pulling it through. Now, I personally, it's easy to, like I wanted to start at the top, but you got to kind of think about this. When you go to do these sides, you don't want to revisit them. So once you push down where there's a thickness, you don't want to revisit it. You want to do that thickness and keep moving. You don't want to start going here and then say, oh, I want to add more. What you're going to do is you're going to smush the details you already put down. So let's just, and seeing how the rest of this is already, I'm going to start working at the bottom. All right, we'll work at least the sides first. Oops, see what's going to happen? Now, if I get a little bit of oops moments, I can do a fix by taking like a damp brush and kind of cleaning up my edges a little bit. And you're not going to get all the way to the side. I kind of fudge it by adding a little texture that looks like the same pattern when it, if it's a big gap. And if you want it to be like a lot more texture, I'm going for a little more delicate look. So I'm